Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Travis's Musings. This week, we're going to go ahead and take a look at how to use the search function on the tspcalc.com website, because a lot of the Facebook group members, and we've gotten some emails from some tsp.calc subscribers, and they want to know, how do I find my own strategy? What strategy should I follow? What parameters should I use, etc. And so today I'm going to show you guys how easy it is to use some basic search function data, and hopefully it's enough to get you guys over the big scary hump of the large numbers of strategies of the database, and you guys can see how myself, Jaron, Larry, Matt, Brian, Dina, how we all utilize that in order to filter and find our own strategies. But before we get started on that, I would like to remind everybody that, again, neither myself nor Matt nor any of the admins associated with tspcalc.com or the TSP Seasonal Strategies Facebook group are financial advisors or fiduciaries. We are just regular people trying to get ahead in our own retirement. And again, make sure you guys, before you guys leave the page, hit the subscribe button down below, and make sure you guys click that bell in order to get updates next time that, or anytime that myself or Matt post a new video to the TSP Calc YouTube channel. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the search function. Okay guys, and here you can see we're at the tspcalc.com main page, and on the left side you do see we have the seasonal calculator, which is where you can build your own strategy from scratch and compare it to the benchmark funds and of course the bigger bet crew. And on the right though, which is where we're going to be focusing today, is the seasonal strategies search database. And so you can hear, we'll start at the top and we'll kind of work down, and I'll kind of go through how I do my own searching and evaluating. And of course there's new strategies that have come up since I did my research back in December, and sometimes the strategies are so close that it doesn't really matter and you've just got to pick one. So let's go ahead and take a look at the start. So right here is where I do my first change. So Matt has this set up that the start year is 2004, which is the first year we have full data available from the TSP website. And the end year, though, is what we're going to be changing here, because I like to search based off a full year of data. You can search all the way up to present if you'd like. That's just the way that I typically like to do it. And then here you have how we want to sort by. You have a standard deviation, IFTs, time in the index funds, or time in all equities only. I think the IFT one is kind of cool. We've had a couple different members that are either overseas and have limited IFT access, or they're limited by their organization and they're actually not allowed to do as many IFTs as would be allotted under a normal TSP participant. So let's go ahead and set this up how I would typically do this if I was going to be starting a strategy for the year. So I like to set my mean up at 28. We'll set the standard deviation up at 15. I don't want more than 35 G or F, and I want to make it 60 for CS and I. This is personal preference. Everybody, I'm just kind of walking through how to use the calculator or the search function to try to take some of the mystery away. It's pretty easy to use. I think that some people get kind of scared or they don't really understand, and so this is hopefully going to take away some of that mystery. So this is, again, personal preference for me, is I like to spend about 60% of the time in stocks, and that kind of helps filter here with the GNF with 35. I like my mean to be north of 28%, and the standard deviation is not quite as important to me as it is to some people. It really depends on the individual strategy itself. And if you, a quick Google search, if you don't understand some of these terms, might help you understand a little bit better and why it's not as necessarily as important. So you come up here to the sort and filter button, and voila, we have a variety of strategies here. And I want to go ahead and take a look here. This first strategy looks exceptional. Look at this. We got a 35% return average, almost 11,800% compounded return over that time period, and a standard deviation of 14.78. A lot of people like to keep their standard deviation under 10. And again, this is something where you have to take a look at the strategy. So I would go ahead and click that strategy. It will auto-populate it here into the seasonal calculator. And just for fun, we're going to go ahead and display it against some benchmarks, which you'll see at the bottom. So notice here at the bottom you have the strategy, and it brings its results tab up here. Let's go ahead and we're going to benchmark it against myself, my own strategy, which is 85,425. Now we'll hit submit again on the calculator this time. And now we have that strategy, which was 101,760, benchmarked against my strategy 85,425. And it's doing pretty good this year. Look at that, plus 4.26%. My strategy is showing minus 12.31%. I'm about 13% better than that right now, since I did deviate from my strategy, which I don't really want to get into during this video, but I will get into it during the month end. And let's go ahead and you can see where the training day comparison here matches up. And I think this is maybe something that somebody created when they went off strategy. So that's just as easy as it is. If you want to, you can do additional filter functions on the right. For example, if you wanted to sort by time in CS&I, and then you have to refill out your. Let's change our parameters a little bit. Let's go 28 again. Let's bump the standard deviation up to 20. And let's put our CSI max at 75. Let's just see what happens when we do that. Okay, so, and then let's sort by mean. Let's change this to 2019. And let's change that to mean. We're just kind of playing around here with the calculator and kind of seeing the different variety of strategies you can come up with. So this is kind of a neat one. 36% average return, has a standard deviation of almost 18, which a lot of people might actually filter this out. But we have a CS&I of 63%. Let's go ahead and take a look at 91,570 and take a look at why that standard deviation is so high and why I don't think it's typically as big of a deal as people make it out to be. Okay, so let's take a look here. We had a variety of years that were really high, 41, 42, 45, 45, and then a couple of smaller years like 15 here, 23, and these are not small years, they're relative, right? And so the difference, the reason you get that higher standard deviation is, I was looking at my strategy, 91,570, you got 91%, 50%, 29, down to 20, 24. So you have a higher standard deviation here of almost 18, but the swings are dramatically more pronounced. And so that gives us a higher mean average long term. And again, this is one of the ones you have to take a look at and say, okay, am I really concerned about standard deviation when the lowest number on here is 20.84? And interesting, in comparison, my strategy has a lower standard deviation, 9, and its lowest is actually lower than the 91,570's lowest, which is, it looks like about 20.25. So again, standard deviation can be a little bit misleading. And so I think it's important that people go ahead and play with the search function, write down a bunch of strategies, come over here and put them into the benchmark, and you can go ahead and take a look at them and how they compare against each other historically and during trading day comparison tools. All right, so if you guys have any additional questions about how to use or how to search and how to create your own strategy, feel free to reach out to either myself or one of the other admins on the Facebook group. And hopefully this kind of sheds some light on how you might begin to start choosing your own strategy. Again, there is a variety of ways to do it, and there's a lot of thought process. We don't want to tell you what strategy to choose here at TSP Calc. We want you guys to educate yourself and make your own decisions and understand what you're doing with your money. So anyways, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you guys next time.